Hello guys, welcome back to our anime explainer. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star 2, Land of Origin based on novel. So let's start. Outside the Dream Flower Tower. Brother Luo, after all, the 5 great families rule over the entire Huyang city. They will surely have some countermeasures, so you must be cautious, Zhu advised. I understand, Luo Feng nodded. Zhu smiled and nodded, then, I'll take my leave. Immediately thereafter, Zhu and his subordinates rowed a black flying boat and disappeared into the night sky. Luo Feng watched as they departed. Master, shall we return now? Morosa asked from the side. I have one more thing to do. Luo Feng instantly soared into the sky, flying high into the night, a scene that caused both Morosa and Moyu Qingyang some confusion. Luo Feng flipped his hand, and a miniature city, Sinful City, appeared in his palm. Looking at the densely packed population of over 100 million citizens within the Sinful City, Luo Feng shook his head slightly. He knew his ability to help was limited. These 180 million citizens, having survived torture, many are mentally twisted, chaotic, or insane. Luo Feng looked at the miniature city in his hand. The 5 great families knew of Mei Wuqi's evil, but have always condoned it, helping to cover up his tracks. These 180 million citizens, each one of them is a living testimony. Luo Feng was well aware that if the population of over 100 million appeared in some wilderness, the 5 great families would probably quietly eliminate them. But if over 100 million citizens were to appear publicly within Huyang City, and were discovered by the large population of Huyang City, innumerable people would become aware, making it hard to cover up. The 5 great families would instead have to handle the matter with utmost care, ensuring the situation was dealt with perfectly. Come out, with Sinful City in hand, Luo Feng released the massive population. Whoosh 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 tilde tilde tilde. Countless figures were seen being ejected from the Sinful City, landing in various places around them. The area where the Dream Flower Tower was located happened to be a bustling district within Huyang City. There were also many myriad clans cultivators indulging in the pleasures of the city, and they all saw a large number of figures descending from the night sky. What's happening? These descending true gods seem off. The surrounding myriad clans cultivators could tell at a glance that the true gods falling from the sky had abnormal looks and auras in their eyes. Moreover, the space-time suppression in the land of origin is too strong. True gods are unable to fly on their own, and now with over 100 million true gods descending from the sky, attention was naturally drawn to them. All 180 million citizens landed, scattering over a vast area. Where is this? The over 100 million citizens looked around in bewilderment at the bustling city, so beautiful and peaceful, countless times more so than the Sinful City. I am Luo He. The Mei Wuqi whom you deeply despised, I have already killed. A powerful voice spread far and wide, and all 180 million citizens heard it, as did countless myriad clans cultivators in the surrounding vast areas. Mei Wuqi tortured and killed hundreds of millions of citizens, leaving only 180 million survivors. As victims, I believe the city owner's mansion will take care of you and make amends. Luo Feng's voice, empowered by divine power, reached a far too great area. Even tens of billions of myriad clans cultivators in the surrounding districts could hear it clearly. Mei Wuqi is killed. Hundreds of millions of citizens were tortured to death. What happened? True gods from their residences stepped out of their houses, looking towards the source of the voice and also towards that figure in the distant night sky. The figure with black hair and sharp horns was indeed Luo Feng. This figure, remembered firmly by Sinful City's surviving population of over 100 million and the tens of billions of myriad clans cultivators. Something big happened in Huyang City. There was someone named Mei Wuqi who tortured and killed hundreds of millions of cultivators, and the remaining 180 million was saved by Lord Luo He. The ordinary true gods were all stunned, immediately using their transmission tokens to contact their friends and discuss the matter. Tens of billions of cultivators spread the word, and soon the entire Huyang city would be abuzz with the news. Luo Feng watched this scene from the night sky, observing the many survivors who were somewhat insane. City owner's mansion and the 5 great families. When the matter cannot be concealed, let's see how you deal with it, Luo Feng muttered silently. Without the 5 great families' indulgence, Mei Wuqi couldn't have gone this far. Originally, Luo Feng was somewhat inclined towards the city owner's mansion, but because of this incident, Luo Feng felt a disgust towards the 5 great families as well. A bunch of scoundrels. Whoosh! 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 In the night sky, squads of Huyang guards were shuttling through the void, arriving in the blink of an eye, millions of Huyang guards, with even more continuously on their way. Mei Wuqi privately abducted hundreds of millions of citizens from Fangzhou City, tortured many, and was discovered by Lord Luo He and has been executed. All abducted citizens, please rest assured, the city owner's mansion will make amends to each one of you. And the city owner's mansion will also hold the Mei Wu family responsible, announced a leader of Huyang Guard in the high sky, his powerful voice spreading far and wide. The city owner's mansion, which monitors the entire city, had already locked on to every one of the 180 million citizens released by Luo Feng. The Huyang Guards actively went to guide them. The city owner's mansion has already arranged residences for you, rest assured, you will be able to live in Huyang City from now on, and you will be forever exempt from the residence fee. These Huyang Guards were ordered to act, treating each citizen with utmost care. Forever exempt from the residence fee. The surviving citizens, who had lived through it all, were somewhat taken aback. Watching this unfold, Luo Feng said, "Let's go, we're heading back." Alrighty, Morosa's eyes lit up, anticipating the joyful moments to come. Moyu Qingyang, who followed behind, was adjusting her emotions. The master I follow publicly killed a leader of Huyang Guard, Qian Yuchong, and also killed the eternal true god of the 5 great families, Mei Wuqi. The Haiming Legion watched and didn't dare to intervene. And just now, the sinful city's over 100 million true gods were released by the master, and the city owner's mansion pushed the blame onto Mei Wuqi, not faulting the master at all. If he passed the test, he hoped to become a disciple. The apprenticeship opportunity my father sought, but this future master of mine, I find him difficult to read. I only know he is very strong and also compassionate to the weak, thought Moyu Qingyang, her admiration for Luo Feng growing even more. Massive numbers of Huyang guards shuttled through the void to arrive, and they were all guiding those sinful city survivors. As one of the 10 leaders of the Huyang Guard, Gao Wu Shui was naturally present. I have no way to deal with Mei Wuqi, but Lord Luo He openly killed him, and not even the Haiming Legion dared to stop him. Gao Wu Shui also felt a great deal of shock at this moment. He realized the importance of strength. With great power, openly killing Mei Wuqi, even the city owner's mansion has to endure it. As a newly promoted eternal true god with weak power, even taking on the position of leader of Huyang Guard, I need my master's help. The joy Gao Wu Shui had felt at advancing to an eternal true god had already faded. He realized that, while they were both eternal true gods, the disparity between them was shockingly huge. The one standing at the very pinnacle of Huyang City were his master Mo Li Xiao, the leader of Shi Kingdom's forces, divine monarch Shui Yun, and this Lord Luo He. I am still very weak, very weak. Gao Wu Shui turned his head to oversee the Huyang guards working below him. The task of settling the hundreds of millions of citizens from Sinful City was not to be taken lightly. Asterisk, 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 asterisk. In a short time, all the major powers within Huyang City knew what had happened. At the very top of Sky Cloud Tower, Chairman Zonyun looked down upon the vast city that was shrouded in clouds and mists, flipped his hand, and took out a transmission token. Divine Monarch Shuiyun, Chairman Zonyun initiated contact, with a tone somewhat humbler. On the surface, he was just conducting regular business, not participating in any killings. Therefore, the city owner's mansion could tolerate his existence. After all, as a large border trade city, it naturally had to accommodate many business forces from the neighboring Shi kingdom. Chairman Zonyun was very clear that in the eyes of the Marquis, his role was not highly valued. It was the super-strong, like Divine Monarch Shuiyun who were the Marquis' confidants. Chairman Zonyun, contacting me suddenly, do you have something to say? Divine Monarch Shuiyun responded. I had visited Luo He before, and he paid little attention to me, yet he had quite a few dealings with the city owner's mansion, said Chairman Zonyun, but the incident tonight shows that there has been a rift between Lord Luo He and the city owner's mansion. Divine Monarch Shuiyun transmitted, this Lord Luo He is a loner, with no attachments. From his actions, he shows a hatred for evil, acting immediately when provoked. With our way of doing things, he will also view us as enemies. Chairman Zonyun was taken aback. Yes, the forces of Shi Kingdom acted ruthlessly, even more notorious than Mei Wu Qi in causing trouble. Wait patiently for our opportunity. The 5 great families of Huyang won't endure this silently, transmitted Divine Monarch Shuiyun. And from the current intelligence, Lord Luo He is very strong, no less than me. Once they fight, it's likely they will both struggle to handle each other. Lord Luo He, not inferior to you, Divine Monarch Shuiyun. Chairman Zonyun was quite astonished, knowing full well the might of Divine Monarch Shuiyun. In his view, one-on-one, Divine Monarch Shuiyun should be even stronger than Commander Mo Li Xiao. After all, Commander Mo Li Xiao led legions and had the grand formation of Huyang City to bolster his strength. Despite several confrontations, he could not capture Divine Monarch Shuiyun. Yes, he is very powerful. Divine Monarch Shuiyun affirmed, defeating Purple Jade Gen is not difficult, but what's hard to believe is, his hand pierced through the body of Purple Jade Gen. And Purple Jade Gen is a Legion-class mechanical treasure. Mo Li Xiao must have also realized the terrifying aspect of this Lord Luo He. Flame Wind Pavilion. A single hand piercing through the body of Purple Jade Gen. Such strong power. The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion looked forward with anticipation. Now, what I'm most looking forward to is the outcome of Yinkang going against this Lord Luo He. A nearby figure shrouded in grey mist commented admiringly, Yinkang is renowned, having killed many powerful beings, even offspring of the primal chaos overlord, and still lives to this day. His strength is indeed terrifying. This battle will surely be spectacular. The master of the Flame Wind Pavilion shook his head and lamented, it's a pity we can't see the details of this battle. Right now, Flame Wind Pavilion was the only place in the whole of Huyang City that knew Lord Luo He was about to face an assassination. Outside Cave Mansion number 913 of the Primal Chaos Armor, in the night sky, a grey-robed figure was concealed. Yinkang was waiting there. He went to Dreamflower Tower, but in the end, he must return to the cave mansion. The moment he returns to the cave mansion, is when his guard is down, and it will be the time for me to make my move. Yinkang murmured to himself. If one was to assassinate Luo Feng, the Flame Wind Pavilion would be commissioned for detailed intelligence. Any movement Luo Feng made, once spotted by Flame Wind Pavilion, would be communicated to Yinkang. This service was expensive, but Yinkang did not care. This Luo He is quite compassionate to the weak, turning against the 5 great families of Huyang for the sake of those slaughtered weaklings. Yinkang read the intel provided by Flame Wind Pavilion, and found it amusing. This Luo He and I have different characters. I quietly kill my targets, leaving no trace whatsoever. He, on the other hand, is brazen. He publicly launched his attack in front of the Huyang Legion. One hand pierced through the body of Purple Jade Gen. He is quite strong indeed. I wonder if he can withstand my stealth assassination. Yin Kang was unconcerned. The mechanical flow secret treasures from the Huyang Guard he simply disregarded. He waited patiently. Time was passing, and Yin Kang was very patient. Suddenly, a flying boat descended swiftly from high in the sky toward the cave mansion. As it neared, the door of the mansion opened automatically. His back. Stowing away the flying boat, Luo Feng, Morosa, and Moyu Qingyang flew down together. Sir, the novelfire.net website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. Primal Chaos Armor Chamber number 913. This was Luo Feng's own mansion. When Luo Feng returned to the mansion, he naturally relaxed considerably. This was a common trait among most living beings. They would relax a lot when they came home. Moreover, his absolute confidence in his own strength made Luo Feng quite at ease. Luo Sa, follow me, Luo Feng ordered. Coming. Morosa gleefully followed by Luo Feng's side, while Moyu Qingyang obediently headed toward the small building next to the main gate, as he was to guard the door. At this moment, Luo Feng and Morosa had no inkling of Yin Kang, who was hidden in the sky outside the mansion. Yin Kang, skilled in stealth and assassination, became nearly indistinguishable from the surroundings when he concealed himself, as if he were a part of space itself. Even Luo Feng and Morosa, who were extremely sensitive to aura, did not notice his presence. Luo Feng and Morosa were just about to fly to the underground palace. It was at this precise moment. Luo Feng's expression changed slightly as a figure in a grey robe appeared in front of him as if teleporting. The figure's eyes seemed like endless vortices fixated on Luo Feng, while a shadow of a blade in his hand had already pierced into Luo Feng's body. Indeed, at the instant Luo Feng noticed, the blade had already stabbed into his godly body. Die. The formation around the mansion was like child's play before Yin Kang. After all, the small mansion along with its formation was worth only 500 cosmic sand. This formation could only slightly delay an ordinary eternal true god for a short while, and it could be completely ignored in the face of an existence like Yin Kang. The grand formation of Huyang City is in operation, spatially sealed. Aside from the city owner's mansion's team, other powerhouses can't traverse the void, Luo Feng thought in surprise, as the blade pierced his godly body, yet this assassin could forcefully traverse the void. His mastery over spatial realms is probably very high. The spatial seal of Huyang City doesn't mean outsiders can't traverse the void at all, such as the Primal Chaos Overlord who could forcefully do so. This assassin, capable of moving through the void within Huyang City, obviously had significant ability. Where did such a terrifying expert come from? Luo Feng was slightly puzzled. Even if the 5 great families wanted to retaliate, they couldn't find such an expert in a short time. This expert's methods didn't match those of any eternal true god within Huyang City. Die. Yin Kang's murderous intent was biting. After this stab, a phantom sword shadow directly targeted the soul inside Luo Feng's true god's heart, seeking to completely destroy the soul. At the same time, this stab released a terrifying force inside Luo Feng's body, its destructiveness beyond belief. Even with Luo Feng's perfect divine body, and having undergone 2 rounds of body refinement, he was still collapsing and annihilated before this horrific force. It was comparable to an ordinary move of a primal chaos realm master. This stab was the culmination of Yin Kang's achievements, targeting both the godly body and the soul. If either defense failed, death was certain. This soul attack isn't very powerful. Star Tower protected the true god's heart, while Luo Feng's spiritual will counteracted the phantom sword shadow ahead of time. His spiritual will, having reached the peak of primal chaos overlord and constantly honed by the great destruction heart refining technique, was not the least bit afraid of external assaults. Luo Feng's spiritual will, like an immovable blade, collided with the phantom sword shadow, causing the latter to directly collapse. What strong spiritual will! Yinkang was inwardly shocked by the collapse of the phantom sword shadow, but, my stab targeted both the soul and the godly body, your godly body will still be annihilated. Usually, even if the soul could resist, it would be affected by the shock, leading to vulnerabilities in the godly body's defense. Even if one didn't die after being stabbed once, Yinkang's next 2 or 3 stabs would usually suffice. The soul attack is negligible, Luo Feng thought as he felt the stab's destruction of his godly body, but the damage to the godly body is quite severe. This one stab has destroyed about 1/10,000th of my godly body. Luo Feng was still shocked. After all, as a being with a perfect divine body, the reservoir of his divine power was frighteningly vast. To be able to destroy 1/10,000th of his godly body with a single stab was indeed a fearsome attack. After all, I've only recently made the breakthrough to eternal true God, and I haven't even completed 3 rounds of the standard body refining secret technique, primal chaos great strength diagram, and my understanding of the primal chaos laws is still rather shallow. Faced with this attack, Luo Feng immediately realized his accumulations were still relatively weak. He was merely withstanding it by virtue of his perfect divine body. HMPH. With a single thought from Luo Feng, a small cosmic domain descended, and darkness immediately enveloped the area surrounding the mansion. At the same time, Luo Feng stretched out his hand, instantly igniting divine power, and his arm swelled as his palm crushed down with an unmatched might. Whoosh! In the face of this palm, Yinkang dared not resist, knowing it could penetrate the body of Purple Jade General. He didn't think his own body was as strong as a mechanical flow treasure. So he instantly transformed into a mist, flickering away, and avoiding the terrifying palm strike from Luo Feng. Such a peculiar movement technique, Luo Feng remarked as a dazzling set of golden armor appeared on his body, and pairs of resplendent golden wings unfurled. 6 pairs of golden wings spread out from Luo Feng's back. Luo Feng looked at Yinkang as the forces of heaven and earth condensed into primal chaos currents. Rich and abundant primal chaos power filled every space, also suppressing and constraining Yinkang. Control primal chaos. Yinkang appeared not far away. His control of primal chaos is nearly akin to that of a real primal chaos overlord. Under this suppression, I can't even traverse the void. And he was unharmed after being struck by my sword. It could also be that he's pretending to be unharmed. With a few more strikes, he might die. Yinkang, with his rich experience, was very confident in his killing moves. His sword was a single-entity mechanical treasure, the sword of the world's core, which excelled at condensing divine power to a high intensity. Showu wings could also condense and transform divine power, but its formidable strength came from Luo Feng's overpowering perfect divine power. Once condensed and transformed, it could rival the divine power of a primal chaos overlord. Yinkang's divine power, however, was significantly inferior to Luo Feng's. It was only by relying on the sword of the world's core that he could condense his power to a level nearly on par with the primal chaos overlord's divine power. This sword had only one function, condensing primal chaos divine power, and because of this, it was valued at more than 1,000,000 cosmic sand. As for the killing move he executed just now, it was something Yinkang had comprehended on his own. It was quite normal for eternal true gods of formidable strength to devise 1 or 2 primal chaos realm moves. Only when they comprehended many moves and accumulated deeper knowledge could they aspire to master the complete primal chaos laws and become a primal chaos overlord. HMPH. Yinkang turned into a wisp of mist, and, in a flash, pressed in on Luo Feng. Luo Feng's Showu wings unfolded, controlling the primal chaos to suppress the area around him. Yinkang was unable to penetrate the void, but his agility, and speed in flight were still superior to Luo Feng's. Phut! Yin Kang closed the distance in an instant, with a shadow of his sword striking swiftly. Luo Feng tried to block with his hands, unleashing Showu wings that lashed out like wing blades, a power at the eternal true god stage, possibly even stronger than the blood shadow knife. Despite his hands and wings, Luo Feng could not touch Yin Kang. Yin Kang's sword was unpredictable and mysterious, seemingly traversing the void even under the suppression of the primal chaos currents, occasionally leaving a sword mark on Luo Feng's body. Each strike was less powerful than the initial sneak attack move, but still destroyed and obliterated vast amounts of Luo Feng's divine power. His accumulated knowledge at the eternal true god stage is too profound, his realm of techniques is higher than mine, Luo Feng thought, relying entirely on his perfect divine body acquired from his second body refinement and burning his divine power, allowing him to crush through. But his techniques were indeed crude. The formidable opponents I've encountered before were all very close to my own realm. After a failed sneak attack, it was hard for me to land additional blows. This Lord Luo his techniques are so rough I can strike freely. See a novelfire.ne*t website on Google to access chapters of novels early and in the highest quality. To be considered a formidable opponent by him, one generally had to have deep accumulations at the eternal true god stage, and might even comprehend primal chaos realm moves. Luo Feng had only deciphered 3 out of the 6 world-breaking 9 blades moves on the eternal level, indicating that his accumulation was still relatively shallow. Had I known his realm was so weak, I could have killed him straightforwardly, Yin Kang thought. In this brief engagement, he's been struck by my sword 12 times already, his godly body should almost be at its limit. Forget it, fighting you doesn't help my blade technique, Luo Feng suddenly shook his head and sighed. When the skill disparity was too great and one-sided, there was no effect from sharpening one's skills. Luo Feng waved his hand. Boom .. A mighty blood-colored river spread out, engulfing the entire cave mansion in an instant, as well as Yin Kang. Luo Feng's second mechanical flow treasure, the Life Blood River, was obtained from the Blood Python Association leader. Showu Wings and Life Blood River, as eternal mechanical flow singular treasures, contained primal chaos realm moves. Since his own realm was not sufficient, he might as well wield the primal chaos realm moves inside the mechanical flow treasures. Merely using 1% of his own divine power to control the Life Blood River, it was already vast and overwhelming, covering Yin Kang and naturally starting to suppress, restrain, erode, and destroy Yin Kang's godly body. Why is the Life Blood River so powerful? Yin Kang's complexion changed. Under the guidance of Luo Feng's perfect divine power, the mechanical flow treasure in his hands naturally unleashed its formidable might. The control primal chaos of Showu Wings and the erosion and destruction of the Life Blood River doubled down to suppress Yin Kang, who then sensed the threat of death. Not good, I need to get out of here fast. In an instant, Yin Kang deployed his escape mechanical flow treasure. Having taken assassination missions for so long and still being alive, his abilities to save himself were extraordinary. Whoosh! In an instant, Yin Kang transformed into a streak of Liu Guang, tearing through the raging blood river, and breaking through the primal chaos obstruction, attempting to escape. What a waste of my time, all for nothing, thought Yin Kang escaping, as he flashed past Morosa and Moyu Qingyang, who were trembling in fear at a distance in a small building. Luo he only has 2 servants. Let both the servants die. Yin Kang was always one to kill as he pleased, and his escaping light naturally swept across that small building. Whoosh .. Standing at the edge of the small building, Morosa, with a terrified expression, suddenly opened his mouth, which became enormous, spanning half the cave mansion, and swallowed the Liu Guang that Yin Kang had become. Get out of here! A roar came from within the mouth as Yin Kang fought back frantically. Gulp! Morosa swallowed hard, completely ingesting it. He grinned at Luo Feng from a distance. Master, he happened to rush right to my mouth. This video will end here.